Going into every season, the Charlotte Hornets had the same identity. Fun, entertaining team, but not going to win much basketball games. But this season, they flipped the script completely. Because not only are they still fun and entertaining, but they're also a good basketball team. Going into the year, we kind of knew what the Charlotte Hornets' plan was for the season. Was it A, tank it out and bottom out as one of the worst teams in the Eastern Conference, or B, be a borderline playing team? And this season, yes, as of right now, they are a borderline playing team. They are the 10 seed. But at the same time, it's much more than that. Because ever since the turn of the new year, the Charlotte Hornets have been hooping out of their minds. Since the new year, they've played 21 games. And in that stretch, they are 14-7. And just came off the second largest win streak in franchise history at 9 games. With the loss to the Detroit Pistons on Monday night, snapped their 9-game win streak. And that game in itself was crazy. With Jalen Duren and Diabate getting into a fight, and then Miles Bridges and Isaiah Stewart also getting into it. It was the most insane thing to happen in a random Monday night game against the Hornets and the Pistons, leading to, who knows, because at the time we recorded this video, no suspensions have been listed. The suspensions for all 4 of these players come out, you'll see it on screen here, boom. But if not, but that is besides the point. It's still impressive that the Charlotte Hornets managed to pull together some strength and win 9 games straight to be second highest in their franchise history. But what does this mean for the Hornets going into the year? But how did the Hornets really do it? Well, in the last 10 games, they have the 5th highest defensive rating with 109.3, which is relatively good for a team that didn't really have a defensive identity. Having a point guard LaMelo Ball, who is known to not be the greatest defender, really turned some strides this season. Brandon Miller showing off that, hey, when he's healthy, he can be a contributing factor to their defense. Con Knipple balked there to shoot threes and play defense, and he's been playing phenomenal defense as an off-ball player, and his help defense isn't no slouch either. And on top of that, Miles Bridges has been holding his own and have been anchoring center, whether it is Musa Diabate or Kalkbrenner, really shows some strides with the Charlotte Hornets team. And whether Diabate is their center for the future, he's really proven to be a contributing factor to this team's success. And on top of that, their offense has been rolling as we thought it would be. Because currently in the NBA in the last 10 games, they have the second highest offensive rating with 120.6. Only behind the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have 120.9. So the Charlotte Hornets have been hooping on both sides of the ball. But what really switched in the new year? What changed? What really struck this need to win games now? Why not bottom out for one more year in a stacked draft class? Well, it's really one simple thing. They've been healthy. LaMelo Ball started off the year kind of slowish, missing games here and there with injuries, to the point where for him to play more meant he had to do less. He had to do less on the offensive end to kind of alleviate the pressure off of him and score in certain situations. Having one of his worst averaging seasons points-wise in a very long time, averaging around 19 points per game. But that is just a system that Charles Lee is building for this Charlotte Hornets team, to not just be a LaMelo-focused team, but the team focused on LaMelo, Brandon Miller, Con Knipple, Miles Bridges, and Musa Diabate. Diabate not so much as the scoring impact, but mainly to be the cleanup guy. Bridges, Knipple, and Brandon Miller can all get their own, which leaves LaMelo Ball, who doesn't have to do as much as offense as he did in previous seasons. On top of that, with Brandon Miller being healthy this season, at least at the start of the calendar year, with his shoulder being a little tweaked here and there to start the season, now it looks like that he's finally been healthy. He's being that Brandon Miller that we thought and knew he could be. Since January, Brandon Miller's been averaging 20.8 points per game, 5.4 rebounds, 1.1 steals, 45.2% from the field, and 40.5% from 3. Showing his abilities to score on and off the ball, whether the team needs it or not in certain situations. It's really starting to show that when Brandon Miller is healthy, they can win games. So that is why they choose not to bottom out as one of the worst teams in the Eastern Conference to get another draft pick and waste a season where the team is relatively healthy, just for it all to go to waste for a lottery pick. The next season comes around and they end up losing games again because someone ended up getting hurt. You're kind of in the same rotation, the same cycle, so they have to capitalize on the window that they have now. And on top of that, finding a guy in Con Knipple, who going into the season we thought will be this catch and shoot guy who can play defense, shoot the 3 ball. We really didn't know about his shot creating abilities. And this season, he has showcased it really well. Now, as of right now, Knipple's lighting it up from the 3-point line all season long, just like we thought he was from the start of the year. But as of right now, his shooting is historic. And he's on pace to breaking the rookie 3-point record in about 2 more weeks. As of right now, he has 179 made threes. The record is 202. So he needs 23 more threes with 28 games left to break the record. This record could be broken in the next 4 to 5 games from Knipple. He's to end this season from around 250 to 273s, completely decimating the record. As of right now, he is shooting 7.9 attempts per game, 3.4 makes per game. On top of that, shooting 42.8% from 3. So he's not just shooting at a high volume, he's making at a high volume too. At the same time, he's averaging 18.9 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 48.5% from the field. He's showing that he is not just a 3-point shooter, he can do it all. But his 3-point shooting has been phenomenal. On non-corner threes, he's shooting 41%. On corner threes, it's been 49%. So he's not just a catch and shoot guy, he can also create for his own, which really opens up the floor for this Charlotte Hornets team a lot more. And to add on top of the way that they're trying to contend and be a decent playoff team potentially, if they can make it out the play-in, which the way that they're climbing up, there could be a case. They played the Atlanta Hawks in the first round of the play-in. And do I think that they can beat the Hawks in a play-in game? 110%. The Hawks have been struggling, especially dealing with injuries all season long. And on top of that, trading away Trae Young, trading away Kristaps Porzingis, this season was looked to be a very high thing for the Hawks. They've slowly fallen. And they're only a half a game ahead of the Hornets. So the Hornets could easily go into the play-in game with home court advantage and a chance to knock the Hawks out. They could even sneak into the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised. And if they do, they have one crucial guy that they got at the deadline that could really propel this team to higher limits. And that's Coby White. They traded away Colin Sexton and whatever bullshit else that they threw in that trade to acquire Coby White to add on to a already stacked offense. But you might be thinking to yourself, why get a guy in Coby White who's a starting point guard, a starting caliber guard to put alongside LaMelo Ball? Now let me tell you this, LaMelo Ball, like I said, has been taking such a lesser load in the offensive end and in general with this team. Because there's games where he's coming off the bench, especially in back-to-backs, and a lot of fourth quarters where he's resting a lot more because he doesn't want to risk getting injured if he's playing an extensive amount of minutes. Basically putting himself on a minute restriction just in case he gets hurt. So when LaMelo Ball is doing that to himself, when LaMelo Ball is struggling from the field, who do you have to replace him? Coby White, who can score, not as good as LaMelo, but damn, he can put the ball in the basket. Can't facilitate as good as LaMelo Ball, but damn near could also play, make, and facilitate. He's a lesser version of LaMelo Ball, but is slightly more consistent. And that is what you need with a team like the Charlotte Hornets. You need consistency. And Coby White really shows that and really helps bring it to the team. Also, Coby White is also dealing with a lot of injuries this season, so we don't know what we're going to get out of him. But I really do like the Charlotte Hornets team for now and for the future. Because even if they don't make it into the playoffs, they lose in the play-in, they still get a lottery pick. So for them, this is a win-win no matter what happens. So you kind of have to take this season as, oh, this is strong for the future. Next year, don't be surprised if they make it into the playoffs. Be a top 6 seed, I wouldn't be surprised. But if you guys are, then you have not been watching the Charlotte Hornets all these years around. Do I think that this is going to be their core for the future? Knipple, Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, set in stone. Miles Bridges is the only person I think will not be on this team come next season. I think eventually they're going to wipe their hands at the whole thing, Miles Bridges. I think they've been trying to for years, but I think this offseason is their time to get rid of him. But you also have to think about it. They have missed their last year draft pick into John Salon is looking to be out the league after his contract's over. So if they just drafted a decent role player last year, this team could have been slightly better. But missing last season, hitting better than they ever thought with Colin Knipple this season, sky's the limit for this team. With no expectations, just going out there and having fun. We don't know what we're going to expect. A great fucking watch every single night. And whenever you're bored and the Hornets are playing, go ahead and turn it on. Because you don't know who the hell is going to go off. It could be LaMelo 30, Brandon Miller 30, Colin Knipple 30, Miles Bridges 30, or Diabate 20 and 10. Anyone in any given night could go off, and it's literally just let's go out there and let's have some fun type of ball, which is really loving to see. It gives me such a 2022-esque of the Memphis Grizzlies team, which yes, they did have John Morant hooping out of his mind, but it was more of a team camaraderie and everyone was playing together. That's exactly what you want out of a team, and one of the best games you could watch this season. Go ahead and rewatch the game, the Hornets and Mavs, just 2 weeks ago, where the rookies were battling it out. When Cooper Flag had 49 points and Kyle Knipple had 34. The two rookies going head to head, so you must go back and watch that game and really see how great, how fun it is to watch a game with the Charlotte Hornets. Any game you turn on, you're gonna have the time of your goddamn life, unless again the back's blown in. That's a whole different scenario. But hey, Charlotte Hornets are hooping, and I'm here to watch, and I'm here to enjoy. Let me know what you guys think of the Charlotte Hornets down in the comments down below. And while you're over here, check out my last video, giving my reactions to every single trade that happened this deadline. And while you're at it, subscribe, leave a comment, and go hard on them dudes. Salute.